Episode 5. Returning to the shop in the evening, Young-boon remained lost in thought. Dealing with customers, her mind was elsewhere. She even gave the wrong change by mistake. At 9 p.m., just as she was about to close the shop, her phone rang. It was Do-woon. "Mom, I told Miju. She says she wants a divorce." Young-boon nearly dropped her phone. Her voice trembled as she asked, "Why? Did you try to persuade her?" "She says she can't live with a man who has no money and no job. She says it will ruin her YouTube image too." Do-woon's voice was empty. It was the voice of someone who had given up on everything. Young-boon sank onto a chair in the shop. The strength left her legs. "Mom, I think it's really over now." The call ended. Young-boon sat alone in the darkness. She agonized over a lifelong decision, knowing what it meant, yet unable to decide easily. In the shop filled with the fishy smell, she pondered whether to help or not. Saturday night, 10 p.m. Young-boon sat alone at home. Passbooks were spread on the table, and she repeatedly added and subtracted numbers on a calculator. 30 million won. It was more than half of her life savings. Young-boon took out the old photo again. The young Do-woon's radiant smile pained her heart. When did that child change so much? Or perhaps it wasn't Do-woon who changed, but the world. Sunday, 1 a.m. Young-boon couldn't sleep. The sound of rain was heard outside. It was a heavy downpour for spring rain. Listening to the rain, Young-boon made her decision. She would help her son. At 5 a.m., Young-boon headed to the market earlier than usual. She walked in the rain without an umbrella. Rainwater streamed down her face, but she couldn't tell if it was tears or rain. Arriving at the shop, Young-boon took the passbook from the safe. Then, she picked up her phone and texted Do-woon, "Come to the shop at 2 p.m. today." A reply came immediately. "Yes, Mom." Young-boon opened the shop door as usual and started business. But today felt different. Everything felt like it was for the last time. At 2 p.m. sharp, Do-woon appeared. But he wasn't alone. Miju was with him. Do-woon looked haggard, but Miju was dressed as glamorously as ever. Young-boon was momentarily taken aback, but soon regained her composure. "You both came together." Do-woon spoke first. "Mom, Miju came too. She has something to say." Young-boon pulled out chairs. Miju still looked uncomfortable with the shop's smell, but sat down. "Mother, I wanted to tell you myself." Miju's voice was resolute. Young-boon quietly prepared to listen. "You don't need to send us any more fish. I really hate the fishy smell at our house." Young-boon's heart sank, but she didn't change her expression. Do-woon continued, "Mom, Miju really suffers because of the fishy smell. You keep sending it to our house because I like it, but it's very uncomfortable for her." Do-woon paused, and then added something even more shocking. "And it smells when I work from home. Miju cried in front of me because it was so hard for her. Please stop sending fish to our house." Young-boon felt suffocated. Her daughter-in-law cried because of the fish she sent? And because of the smell? Young-boon looked at Miju. The area around her eyes was red. There were traces that she had really cried. "So you came to borrow money?" Young-boon's voice was cold. Do-woon nodded. "Mom, please help me just this once." Young-boon took out the passbook and placed it on the table. "Take it. There's 30 million won in it." Do-woon and Miju's eyes widened. Young-boon continued, "But don't contact me anymore. I won't send fish, and don't visit." That night at 11 p.m., a drunk Do-woon came to the shop alone again. Young-boon was still tidying up. Do-woon staggered in and collapsed onto a chair. "Mom, I know I was wrong." Do-woon's voice was choked. Young-boon poured a glass of water and placed it in front of him. "But Mom, I really hated that smell. It wasn't just Miju. I hated it too." Young-boon listened quietly. "Whenever I opened my lunchbox at school, the kids would hold their noses. I was teased a lot because of Mom's job. Dawoon held his head. Yongbun said in a calm voice, "That smell set my table and paid my university tuition." Her voice was firm, but it held hurt and disappointment. Dawoon looked up at Yongbun. His eyes were bloodshot, and his lips were trembling. Suddenly, Dawoon's right hand rose, and it struck Yongbun's left cheek hard. The smack sound echoed through the shop. Yongbun staggered but didn't fall. Her cheek burned. She felt a searing pain hotter than the slap itself. All the market noises seemed to cease. Yongbun slowly turned her head and looked at Dawoon. Dawoon also seemed shocked by his own action, his hand trembling. "Mom, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to," Dawoon muttered, stepping back. Yongbun said nothing and looked at the floor. A knife had fallen. She slowly bent down and picked it up. The blade glinted under the fluorescent light. "Yes, I'm sorry for raising you with these smelly hands." Yongbun's voice was too quiet. It sounded emotionless, but it held a deep wound. "I gave you the money, so resolve it with your company. And don't come again." Yongbun turned her back. She placed the knife in the sink and turned on the water. Cold water flowed over her hands. Dawoon stood for a while before staggering out of the shop. After Dawoon left, Yongbun remained alone and touched her cheek. It was starting to swell. Looking in the mirror, a red handprint was visible. Tears fell, but she cried silently. Her daughter-in-law's words about crying over the fish she sent kept swirling in her mind. Those tears hurt Yongbun's heart more than the slap, more than her son's struck cheek. That night, Yongbun cut ties with Dawoon. She deleted his number from her phone. She deleted all the photos too. She resolved to be truly alone now. After the ultimate betrayal, Yongbun severs ties with her son, believing her life's work and love have been for nothing. But as she faces the forced closure of her shop, a final trip to the old safe reveals a long-forgotten envelope. What shocking secret did her husband leave behind that could change everything?